Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, another classic review going back in time, and we're taking a look at Torpedo. And no, this is not my original Torpedo, although once again I do have my original Torpedo downstairs. But he's seen better days than this guy. Broken thumb, I believe. Doesn't have all of his accessories. His backpack has, I think, one jet that's kind of broken. But we're going to take a look at this one because he's in much better shape. And that's the reason why I purchased him. I always loved Torpedo. A lot of fun. I just thought he was really cool. And he has such a sleek look to him. So we're going to take a look at this. Go over everything that he comes with. What his design was. I know there's a lot of people thought that maybe this was a female diver. I never really thought of it until it was brought up. And then you're kind of like, yeah, I could see where someone might have gotten that. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this. Was this one of your bathtub buddies? Did you have a pool and you're like, this guy always had to go with me? We're going to take a look at it, go over everything about it. Also, I want you to stay to the end of the video. I'm going to go a little insight on making videos. There's a reason why I kind of wore this Punisher shirt. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how some of these videos are made when I get to the end of this. So if you're interested in knowing how someone can put out all this YouTube content, please stick around. But before we do, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Alright, so here we have our Torpedo. I absolutely love this figure. This is not my original. My original is actually downstairs. This one is in way better condition, so there's a reason why I did replace him. So, as we always like to do, go over the accessories first. So let's pop everything off them. And again, if you have something like this, maybe you haven't put them together in a while, if you feel like the weapons aren't going in their hand, please don't force it in there. These thumbs will break extremely easy, as I think most of us know, along with the crotches. So just take your time. If you can't get it in there, that's perfectly fine. So here we have his spear gun. Now, even as a kid, I thought this was kind of quirky to have. This guy is not fighting sharks, is he? Not that there's anything wrong with fighting sharks. Anyway, here we can see the spear right there. A little bit of design. It just goes all the way down to the handle. And you can even see it looks like maybe there is somewhat of a trigger right there. A little bit of grip on it. And then he has a little stock that kind of sits out there. This is one of the first things that you probably... when you think about this guy is not going into battle using something like this. This guy's a Navy SEAL. Imagine the Navy SEALs. That's what they get to use, some stuff like this. As for his backpack, you get a couple little oxygen pieces here. Now this is the one thing we never realized. Are these supposed to be missiles? Are they little jet packs? I guess it was really left to your imagination, what you wanted to use these as. I always used them as whatever needed to be at the time. Was it a jetpack? Was it a missile? On the back here, I just put a little bit of design here. Now there is no breather system that's going to go to it. That is all in your imagination. You just have to do it how you want. And then right down here on the bottom. So this looks more like something that's just going to hold it on. All right. No big deal, but I do like the fact that they painted the oxygen tanks. It just gives you a little bit more of a feel when you're looking at this figure, especially considering it's orange and he's all black and gray. Then we have our flippers. All right, there is no give to them. All right, and they just peg right on in. So this guy does not need a stand ever if you still have the flippers. And just a little bit of a detail here. I do like the fact that it goes around the heel. So it actually looks like you're slipping it in there. Now that's what she said. And then you just get a little bit of design of how a flipper would look. And to be honest, when I look at this reminds me of what we had as kids when we go swimming at our pool or whatever, and we get to buy some flippers. Now as for Torpedo, now this was brought up to me that a lot of people thought this was a female, and it never really dawned on me till I started looking at it and I said, okay, I can see why someone might think this is a female. So if you decided that you had multiple torpedoes, maybe you do a little bit of customizing, you could definitely make this into a female without a problem. This could be Scarlet, Cover Girl, whoever can fit the head on here, you could do that. So, all right. Looking at this head here, you can tell he's probably has some hair in here. This is a very large head over, which is perfectly fine. Here's the strap that is supposed to be, I would assume, for the goggles. All right. And look at that. Even on the back there you have your latch to adjust it. Looking at the eyes now, I would assume this is supposed to be a clear piece that they obviously didn't do. You kind of have some droopy eyes, but they are made the exact same. There's your eyebrow, you got your eye painted on, and then just up on the top a little bit right there. Here we have his breather. All right, so his oxygen is going right back here. Now again, you just have to imagine that there is a cable or a tube that's running to the back. As for his body, again, you can only use a figure like this. You can only use this design for so many things. Unlike what they do now with Classified, Marvel Legends, and all the other 6-inch lines that are doing. So it has what I would assume is like 4 little pouches. All right, you can kind of see how they're going to snap down. Nice little break here. Now he's not just painted. There is a seam. And again, that shows the detail that they have going in there. The arms are just nice and sleek all the way down to the gray gloves. Look at that. You can even see the veins that are kind of going through the gloves. This would be something very skin tight. You got a nice little belt with a couple pouches on it, and it looks like it's kind of snap together. Probably something a little bit easier than a regular belt. On the side here, I'm not sure if those are explosives or what they are, but it is something a little bit different. And then you even got the zipper that you're going to zip up and zip down to get this suit on and off. All right, over on this side, he gets an actual weapon that he'd probably use in a knife. You got the zipper, and look at that, even on the inside. So you're going to zip, like this is, again, in my opinion, taking a lot of attention to detail, where you're going to have zippers on both sides. Now this here, he would normally have bare feet, would be my assumption. But once you put the flippers on, it's meant to make it look like the feet there are all part of the flipper, right? All right, so let's take a look at this. As far as articulation, side to side, no up and down. Could you imagine this today? Could you imagine how mad people would be that when they swim, he can't look up? Oh man, people would be mad. T-pose, they swivel right there. This figure is actually very, very nice and tight there. I do have to be careful after my flint broke doing this. A little bit over 90 degrees. He just swivel at the waist. All right, O-ring. This one probably might need to be replaced eventually. There's your T-pose. He actually gets a pretty good T-pose. Your knees. And, you know, again, these figures are meant to be like this so they can sit down in different vehicles that were made. All right. Now let's arm him up really quickly. And like I said, this is a figure you probably don't need a stand for. And there, once again, on the backpack, we can see the way that it rides up its back. And again, if you have a figure, now this one normally isn't that bad, just due to how small that thing is, the grip. Don't try and force it into his hand. So there you go. He will fall backwards. These figures have a tendency that you have to kind of push them forward a little bit. If he sits like this, there's a good chance that he might eventually fall, especially if your ground isn't completely level. So you do have to have a little bit of an arch, even with his flippers right there. But there you go. That is your Torpedo. This is one of my favorite characters. I have this big soft spot, this love for the Navy SEALs. So this guy actually fits in absolutely perfect. So there you go. G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero classic review. All right, so there you go. That is the G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, the Torpedo video review. Tell me if you had it, if you liked it. Maybe this is one of those ones that you traded for because someone had it and they didn't like it, and you're like, that is an awesome, awesome figure. Because I love hearing the stories that you guys have to say, because it really takes it back. Because whether we knew each other as a kid, we all have a story, and a lot of times when you hear a story that someone else has, you have something that kind of pops up in your mind, like, oh my God, I totally forgot. My cousin did that. My best friend did it. This guy that I didn't like used to do it. Or maybe I used to do it, and I just hit my microphone. But anyway, there you go. Now, what I was saying a little bit earlier was, stick around and I'll tell you how some of these videos are made. So the way that it goes is, when I'm doing something like this, I do them in batches. And that is the understatement for right now. I put the Punisher shirt on as I was looking for shirts because I do a wardrobe change every single time. You don't want to have the same shirt every time that you're doing it, because then it looks like, wow, this guy's really lazy. He just pumped out 5 or 6 videos all at once. So I'm changing the shirts. Right now, roughly as I sit here in this, talking about this, I have now done intros and extras to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. So that is 8 different wardrobes. I feel like the Punisher at the end of the prison scene where he's fighting all the guys. I'm absolutely exhausted. So the way that I do it, if you're interested, again, if you're not interested, just hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit that bell notification. But the way that I do it is, when I do these reviews, I start off, I have a list of how I want them to go out, the dates that I'm going to be publishing them, so they're just there. I don't always get to it, but I like to get a batch of them done. Like I said, 8 today, I believe. So I do this, I do my intro, boom. I don't have to open this up like brand new classified where I'm showing you right out of the box. These have already been played with. I know how they are. I know how they articulate. I know how they move. I finish. I do the extra. Am I saying that right? The exit part of the video, right? I do that. Boom. I finish. I do a shirt change, so I'm not wearing the same shirt every single time. Once I'm done doing that, and like I said, I'm 8, now I will go back and I will actually do the review of every single one that I've done. Then do this, and then I go back, I take pictures of everything, do the thumbnail, because that is very important, put together the intro video, package them together, each one at a time, and as I finish each one, I upload each one to YouTube, and I place it at the date and time that I want it to go live. So this way, I can get through a month of videos, or hell, I could get through a year of videos if I wanted to take a week off of work, just go through everything and get it done. But it is extremely exhausting, because like I said, 8 videos, and I haven't even done the reviews of them yet. Just kind of want to let you in, because I know a lot of people wonder, like, hey, how do you do so much YouTube? Again, I spend a lot of time in this chair, and again, I'm kind of throwing this on the back end of a video, so if someone's ever wondering, it's just kind of like that hidden Easter egg. But I'm going to get out of here, because I have to go all the way back to the Hiss and start doing the reviews of that. Now, if you're going, wait a minute, the Hiss, yeah, go back and see how long ago you saw that Hiss video, and you can realize how long this video has been sitting there on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, give me that like button. But if you like this, right up here, the APZ was what I did. Actually kind of works, because he'd be jumping out because it's floating. And down here is a playlist of all the G.I. Joe classic reviews of the Real American Hero that I've done. Take care.